You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. Grandmaster Cappy here, banging out the requests over at aholeconsulting.com because this is a very important topic because nobody likes diversity training. Nobody likes it. We all know it's BS. And so we have a question about it. So I'm going to try and make sure that this is not necessarily monetizable, but it isn't like not recommended. So we're going to be very, very PG with our talk today. Cappy, 2 requests in 1. I listened to Boomers, the men and women who promised freedom and delivered disaster by Helen Andrews. I was wondering how much it would cost you to get your take on the video. It's 7 hours listening on Audible. I'm like, yeah, that's $350. Like, I don't have $350. I'm like, I understand. But he did pay for this one. 2, I'm still in the corporate world, but I'm planning my escape to the 1099 master race. That's the superior race. Redheads are the master race. The ginger master race. I want to make it clear to future clients that I have no desire to sit through any more diversity, inclusion, or equity seminars. Would you recommend a clause in my standard contract pricing such time at twice or thrice my standard hourly rate? Thanks, and we'll keep you anonymous. Now, that's very opportunistic. That's very, very forward thinking here. But the general answer is yes. If you're an independent contractor, you're part of the 1099 superior race. One of the greatest things is you don't have to tolerate any corporate political managerial BS. You're a hired gun. If you haven't seen it, watch the movie. Was it a fistful of dollars with it's Clint Eastwood, but he's the hired gun. He's not there's the Rojos and the Baxters, and they're the 2 warring families in this border town. And he keeps playing the 2 families off each other because he's the fastest gun there. And even though he's not the head of either family, everyone kind of knows like, whoa, this guy he's the hired gun. He's equal to us, right? He's not a peon. He's not a W-2 employee. And so when you become the contractor, that's it. So you don't sit in their rules or their meeting. You don't talk to HR. And it helps that if you're a 1099, if you're an independent contractor, you have an indispensable skill. Like I have a buddy who, he's a high-level IT networking guy. And this was several years ago, but he was billing out at $300 an hour. He doesn't sit in diversity. And now he's an independent contractor. He's like, nah, I work from home. And a lot of that you can avoid because you work from home. But if you're the brain surgeon or you're the heart surgeon or you're the dental specialist or you have the skill and you're an independent contractor, you don't have to. In general, forget diversity and inclusion and sensitivity training. Like you don't have to don't sit in meetings. The handful of businesses I have consulted, I'm like, no meetings. I don't sit in meetings. They give you the report and that's it. I refuse to do meetings in general. But yeah, that is one of, if not the best benefit of being a self-employed individual and an independent contractor. This corporate culture, you do not have to buy into that. You're Malcolm Reynolds, you're Captain Malcolm Reynolds. I do my job and I get paid like in the olden days. I don't kiss the ring. I don't go balls deep, swallowing the corporate culture. And I'm certainly not going to sit here and be accused of basically bigotry, of which I'm not guilty of. And I'm mature enough to know not to be so foolish as to actually be a bigot. I'd like to use the ists and the isms, but we can't because that gets flagged on the great and merciful YouTubes. So, but as to how you execute that, you could make a statement up front. I would not do that because that would be they probably like, whoa, okay, maybe we'll find someone else because you're acted too arrogant, like, and I don't do this, and I don't work on Mondays, and I don't do Windows. But you're working along there, and you're 1099, and you could ask, the boss while interviewing, like, well, do you guys have any kind of like diversity or a type of harassment training? That word we can't use either. Do you have any training where like mandatory meetings where I have to be accused of things I'm not guilty of, unconsciously or not? And if they say yes, say, yeah, I'm probably not going to sit in those. That'd probably be key to me working here is I don't really do that. And the more in demand your skill is, the more leverage you get. I don't do meetings, I work from home. But I would not lead like on your resume. I will not do Windows. Don't lead with that. Get in there first. Da 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 da. Then they like you. They realize that you have your skill set that they need. And then you say, oh, well, we got some training, like, HR. We're going to have you go to HR. Like, no, I'm an independent contractor. And that's when you start he's like, I'm an independent contractor. Like, okay, what is HR? They need my social security, my EIN number, because you should have a company. And they need that to pay. Okay. But, employee training. I have to go to the nonprofit fundraiser. Where was I? I was at a urinal taking a pee. It was in Wisconsin. It was on Highway 54. Shackton? Seymour? Stevens Point. Got it. The British Petroleum at Stevens Point, right off the intersection of 39 and Highway 10. Someone send this to them. And I'm doing my business. I look, and it was some like Gary's Gas. Or no, I wasn't. I was pumping gas. That's all. I wasn't at the bathroom. I was pumping gas. I'm looking at Gary's Gas. We donate 2 cents for every gallon to local schools. And Gary's Gas has done in 2020. Gary's Gas donated $15,000 to local schools. Like, oh yeah, that made a difference. And they're not overfunded anyway. Yeah, maybe you're still not. You're gonna teach them Marxism and womanism and victimhood ideology, but you won't teach them how to do their taxes or how to put together a personal budget or even what a 401k is. Don't tell me your 15 grand is going to help. The whole point was Gary's Gas. You want to sit on Gary's Gas and Gary's Gas Kids? Do you want to sit on it? We got a nonprofit. We like to tell you. Nope. That's the peons' work. That's the slave work, the slave workers. That's their job. They have to go to the happy hour. They have to go to the pep rally where you brought in some idiot, what's it called? Invigorating, inspirational speaker. They have to go to that. Not only that, since I'm a contractor, I work by the hour. And I will go home when I effing bleep and please because the work is done. Bye. See you on the links. So I'm trying to expand and broaden the concept of 1099. But you don't lead with that. You do not put that on your resume. And then when the time comes, and this is where it helps to be a minimalist, have money saved up and multiple sources of income. So if they say, well, we have a diversity meeting, good for you. I hope you have fun. I don't think you will, but I hope you have fun. And I'm sure the shareholders are very upset. You just wasted $100,000 on some charlatan speakers. Right? I have work to do. Oh, no, well, you really have to go. And guys, this is why you have to bargain from a position of power and not needing them. I see. So this is a requirement. Right. Well, I'll submit my final bill. I'm officially done, and I'll see you later. What? Because you're mission critical. You're the programmer. It's a software company filled with a bunch of HR people and diversity and marketing folk. And they like, oh my gosh, we're just so amazing. We're so amazing. We're so amazing. We're just so amazing. I'm so amazing. And you're the only one that does the real work because apparently they just hired friends and friends of friends and BFFs. You're the only engineer, you're the only software engineer that's getting the actual code done. They got to outsource it to a contractor. We need you to sit in. No. Well, you can't work here if you don't. Bye. Because they need you more than you need them. And that doesn't matter whether it's pointless, insulting, waste of time stuff like diversity training or womanism training. You got what's womanism? I can't use the F word. It's F-ism, but we can't use that. That's also a flaggable term because freedom of speech. You don't have to tolerate any corporate BS, any of it. And then for those of you, I go way out on a limb here. Okay, I know, Cappy. What are we, 1940s Americans that had standards? You know, you W-2 employees could say no. This is a word called no. You should try it sometime. Very powerful word. Short, 2 letters. It's the reverse of on. Anyway, they say, oh, we got diversity training. You say, no. Just say no. Have some principles. No, I'm not going to go sit and listen to a bunch of frauds with worthless degrees coming in here and hoodwinking you for $100,000 of consulting fees to tell me somehow I oppress people or I'm bigoted against people because of traits they have that are different than mine. Shut the F up. We know it's all BS. You're lying, you're virtue signaling, and it's disgusting and dishonest. And it's also a waste of time. It's horribly economically inefficient. You can say no. And here's what I know, guys. I know. Most of you can't. Why? Because you're not arguing for a position of power. Like an idiot, most of you decided to go tons into student loan debt, right? And then you had to get that car and the SUV for wifey poo or hubby poo, right? You don't have the cash, but you had to keep up with the neighbors, right? Because, well, high school's over, and how else are you going to derive some kind of purpose and meaning in life through vanity instead of actually achieving and accomplishing something, or maybe raising your own kids? So now you have to have the cooler SUV and leave it out in the parking lot for everyone to see, even though you got a 2-car garage. And then you got to get a boat. And then you have to have the house in the McMansion in the suburbs. And then you're all Lester Burnham, leveraged up to the hilt, and you are a slave. And you live paycheck to paycheck. And so now you got to kiss the ring. Kiss the ring, homie the clown. Anyone remember that? Living Color, great show. Never mind, you're all too young. Now you have to go. Because you need that money. And because, why? Because you enslaved yourself to a bunch of debt. And that's why I know it. That's why you can't, because you had to get the things. And now you're being insulted and accused of what's a pretty significant sin, or at least a social sin. I mean, it's quite a bad thing to be accused of being a bigot when you're not. And you get to sit there and have everyone claim that you're oppressing people and you're a bad person, and you get to sit there and take it. Well, but happy wife, she needs an SUV. Then she'll touch my peen. So for my listening audience, as you know, the philosophy is we become the 1099 superior race. We join that elite club, right? We get paid. We do the job. We get paid like Malcolm Reynolds. And then we go home. And then we have multiple sources of income, as well as combined with minimalism, so we don't need that much income, so that when some worthless piece of crap coming out of an HR program from the Carlson School of Management says, we need to have diversity, assisted female training, and everybody line up so we can yell at you, you can say, F no, lady, not me, not today. But, no, huh? My body, my choice. Huh? You hate it? No. You familiar with that word? No. So that's if you belong to the elite club of the 1099ers and the minimalists. But for the rest of you who are, it's a Barbie world in the Barbie world. Winnetka, Annie Dinah. We're all leveraged up to debt. I guess you're their bitch. I guess it sucks to be you. Hey, but you got a nicer car, bro. And your wife is hot, bro, right? The one you got to keep driving with a brand new SUV every 2 years. Yeah, bro. Have fun learning about institutional isms. I just would want here. I'll make this one final statement. We'll get to the super chats if there are any. I do not like or no. I feel pity for, and I do not respect the millennials. One thing I'll give them credit, though, is that they actually have some self-respect when it comes to what they're going to do for work. Because, well, they get checks from the government now. And they're the ones that finally stand up to the boomers. You know, Gen X was like, what, do this and you'll reward us? You'll reward us. Even though we're sacrificing our entire youth, you'll reward us. And then they didn't really lie to us. The millennials like, no, we're not doing that. We're not working. We'll play video games and live at home. And I'm like, you know what? Even though I disagree with staying at home to the age of 30 and playing video games and eating Cheetos, you are right. They were pretty much like not giving you a fair shake at all. And what I desperately wish is that you, conservative, libertarian, true loving America, I just wish you would all grow a pair of balls. And when your boss, no matter how much it would be detrimental to your career, is you said no. Like all of the white collar workers got together and said, no, we're not doing that. Oh, you did that advertisement? Like, if I was working at Gillette, again, you're crazy, and they came out with that anti-male ad, I'd be like, I quit. I'm done. Matter of fact, might get a lawyer, get a toxic masculinity or toxic work environment lawsuit going on here. We will play your game. I wish you guys would do that, but that's right. There's no more real Americans left because it's a Barbie world. Addison, Texas, and other snooty places. Thomas Landrum, aspiring accountant agent in the field. Meeting is less than email. Yes. Send me an email. This is why I charge when I do one-on-one consultations. If you want to do it like I have to sit here and listen to you, $200 minimum. Email, $30. Video, $40. Sit down, talk to you, listen to your crap, 200 minimum. Rodrigo Proenca, 15 Brazilian reals. Is that right? That's why independent money people should be self-employed. No need to deal with that BS. Yeah, I mean, psychologically, you can't deal with it either. I mean, I went to college. I was the evil person all the time. I don't know why, but it might have had something to do with this color and the plumbing down there. And I was oppressing everyone, and I'm like, meanwhile, I'm working for $6.90 an hour as a security guard. Like, where's this club I can join, man? Why I missed the memo? Where do I sign up? What happened? All right. Boo-ba-doo-da-boo. That's it for the super chats. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.